The Badlands, a special kind of Canadian desert, known for its steep-sloped mesas and bone-dry conditions.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Who's got butterflies in their stomach this morning? Woo! Thank you all for attending Canada's Hard Enduro. Those of you that have been walking around might be a little surprised. It's not a regular Enduro. It's going to be hard. And that's how we like to do it.
It's its own animal out here. Not many places in the world are like this.
Yeah, it's a lot different than what we've been training all year.
Track is very legit and relentless basically the whole time.
Pretty cool place. There's some crazy hill climbs here.
Oh, I'm looking forward to riding today.
I'm just excited to get into it and just start doing laps out there.
This punishing landscape will host a new kind of untamed animal. This is Red Bull Outliers, Canada's largest hard enduro. 150 athletes will attempt to tackle this grueling 10-kilometer track. Each lap will open up a new section of course, making it both harder and longer than the last, testing the rider's will to persevere in the punishing afternoon sun. The qualifiers, where riders get their first taste of the Badlands on a special short track.
You want a good start. It's really hard to pass here, so I'm going to want to get a top 3 start at the very least.
A better qualifying position means a better starting position in the main event.
So we just finished the qualifier here. I qualified P1, which is pretty important because I'll have first gate pick. That means for the main event. And if you're P1 going in first position, it can be difficult because you're setting the line for everyone else basically. There's no tracks. You're the first guy there and you got to make the decision of where the best line is, and most likely the others will follow. Maybe I can open some outliers and do some good lines for the guys.
There were some sections I was looking at, I was like, oh man, I don't know how this is gonna go. You're definitely gonna have to ride really smart, pick your lines accordingly, or you're gonna just wear yourself out. There's lots of big hill climbs in the later outliers that have very technical components to it, where you can maybe get up to the one ledge, but then the one after that, it's going to be a really challenge to get yourself going again. So you're coming from a dead stop and then it's straight up. For the most part, it looked really good. I'm really excited to ride for today. It's like 130 people or something in the amateur class, so that's a lot of traffic to work through if you don't get a good start.
Outlier number 7, I think it's called Extinction, is probably the hardest one. It's
A downhill and then an uphill, and that section is going to be pretty gnarly.
I think some people might even be pushing their bikes off because it's so gnarly. And
we're going to have to do it twice too, so I don't know if I want to ride that downhill twice, but I guess we'll see when we get there.
I think riding smart and really taking your time, taking a second to stop and breathe is going to pay off over the long term.
It's going to be a lot of laps, so I just want to get them over with.
I'm definitely going to pace myself. 4 hours is a really long time.
the main challenge will probably be the uphills, I think, because you actually have to get the bike up it, where the downhills, if it's super gnarly, you can just push it down and not worry about it. I like uphills a lot. They're like maybe my specialty, and I'm looking forward to some of the gnarly ones near the end of the race.
First to start are the pro riders, among them Tristan Hart, Spencer Wilton, and Brandon Petrie. Tristan had a slow draw off the line, and with passing being an uphill battle, he had work to do. Back at the start-finish corral, Lexi Pichot and the amateur category got off the line and into the action.
I had a terrible start. My bike wouldn't start. and then just like took the worst line.
The back of the pack is a tough place to be if she wants to stake her claim in this unforgiving terrain.
But I was able to get it back together. There's a ton of traffic to have to move through, especially in like the first 2 laps. As you come into the Outliers, there's people just going and going and going and not making it up. So I just did my best to breathe through everything and just try and make a nice clean pass every time I went through it.
With some determination and strategic passing, Tristan punched through to the lead position before the end of the first lap.
Just off 7th place at Red Bull Romaniacs and a 3rd place at the Tennessee Knockout Challenge. He's here to take this one, so we'll keep updated here. It looks like he's got.
As Tristan kicked up dust ahead, Spencer and Brandon fought neck and neck all day, clawing for the 2nd spot on the podium. Lexi systematically picked her way through the pack. As riders dropped out, she kept progressing. Despite being lapped by many of the pros, she kept on the throttle. Back in the pro category, Brandon led Spencer heading into the final laps. While Brandon and Spencer battled, Tristan opened up the 7th outlier, Extinction, a section of track that nearly all riders feared most.
Every lap progresses 100-folds, for sure. Like at first you're coming through, you're like, this is pretty good. And then every lap, it just hammers you down.
So far so good, but it's getting harder and harder. They're super technical now, and there's a lot of like backup as you get onto the further outliers. It's a good time.
Tristan blasted through the finish line at an impressive 2 hours and 42 minutes, leaving no doubt that he was the most dominant rider on the course.
Not bad, pretty thirsty.
Ultimately, Spencer pulled ahead past Brandon towards the tail end of the final lap after Brandon got hung up in one of the many holes in the rugged landscape.
I got 20 minutes.
There you go.
Lexi pushed hard to the finish, racing the clock. She squeaked past the line at a lengthy 3 hours and 50 minutes, leaving only minutes to spare before the 4-hour cutoff. Her position? A surprising 3rd place.
I'm so excited. It wasn't really expected. I knew when I came in for my first lap, I was top 10. So I was like, oh, I just want to keep riding like nice and clean and see how far I can go. And I had no idea I was in 3rd place, so it feels so good. I didn't die!
Didn't die.
I think it's a big deal, like, to finally have something to showcase what Canada's really got and give us a chance to really give it our all.
I think this is a step forward in the right direction for us.
This event is incredible. People are going to be talking about it forever.
And with that, Red Bull Outliers came to a close. The beast can rest until next year.